guys, I have a proposal for I Am Dina. And put very simply, it is just this. You set the Kiwi paedophile onto me. You've encouraged him to go at me. You've repeated the lies this sick, weird sexual deviant has invented about me. Now you're not happy that I'm retaliating against you by restreaming your body cam video of when you went to harass and stalk Nicole in real life and try and, with the bogus legal actions, etc. So my proposal to you is simply this. As far as me and you are concerned, if you will apologise for repeating his lies and admit that the following three things are lies. Firstly, his lie that ICP bombed him. Secondly, his lie that I contacted his mum to say that he'd molested his daughter. What a fucking freak. Thirdly, his lie regarding my nephews, which I don't even want to repeat. You know which one. You've repeated it yourself, you sick fuck. So as far as me and you are concerned, that's all I need you to do. Are you big enough to just apologise?
Oh, Britfag, or whatever name it is you go by these days. You obviously don't know me very well. Number one, blackmail doesn't work on me. I don't care how many times you show the body cam footage. Do you really think it upsets me? You're hilarious. The only reason I strike you and strike it is because I can, not because I care. I strike you to lose your channels. I already got one terminated. I'm sure I can get the rest of them done too, when I put the time and effort into it. I am not responsible for what Jake does. I am not responsible for what other people do. I'm responsible for what I say and do. And just because in your head you believe I've told lies or said things, repeated things that other people you don't like have said, does not make it true. Post an audio clip ever of me repeating the things you're claiming. I don't personally care what Jake or anybody else says about you from now until the end of eternity. And why would I? Do you really think that making a video telling me to apologize to you will make you stop the years worth of harassment and bullying, blackmailing, chauvinistic misogyny that you do, and it'll just make it all go away and be better? You really are obsessed and delusional. You don't have your timeline straight. You don't have your facts straight at all. I did not spend years harassing and stalking Nicole. She spent approximately 8 months doing that to me, and in less than a year's time, it was over and done with. You, however, have spent the last 4 years of your life wasting time white knighting for someone who has moved on to obsess about somebody else. So I guess as long as you feel like that's been time well spent, good for you. You have continued this fight for her on her behalf that I don't even know if she even cares about anymore. I know that I don't. I know that I've moved on from it. For whatever reason, you're really stuck on it. You've also spent the last 4 years of your life re-victimize me, continuously trying to discredit what happened to me in my real life like you were some sidebar spectator watching everything that happened. But you weren't. So you can take the apology you think I will ever give you and shove it as far up your ass as you possibly can, because it will never, ever happen. I, on the other hand, will hold true to what I wrote the other day. The more you come at me, the more you obsess about me, the more you continue to be the disgusting, vile human being that you are, I will take it out where it's deserved. Have a fabulous weekend, Britfag, because I know I am. Oh yeah, one last thing, you weirdo. Here's a little bit of information on the mental disorder you obviously have.
Anonymous stalkers, on the other hand, are not inspired by a personal connection to the victim, because they don't have one, of course. Stranger stalkers are often the most mentally deranged, i.e. they are more likely to have sociopathic tendencies than domestic stalkers. Yet, they are surprisingly the least dangerous form of stalker. A typical stranger stalker fits perfectly into the sociopath profile. They are usually highly narcissistic and can easily become obsessed with a particular thing or person. A stranger stalker will begin stalking to gain control, because a typical stalker will have, or at least feel, that they have little control over their own life, either as a result of current circumstance or their upbringing. The behaviour of a stalker can seem counterintuitive at first glance. They appear to be obsessed with a particular man or woman, usually sexually, yet they simultaneously go out of their way to intimidate that person or even resort to violence. But there is reasoning behind the aggression. Aggressive behaviour is the easiest way to assert control over a victim, especially one that is physically weaker than oneself. Through intimidation, whether that be leaving creepy messages on the victim's answering machine or following them around, the stalker is creating fear and thus asserting control. It stands to reason that the more victims a stalker has under their tyrannical thumb, the more control they feel and enjoy. And this is reflected in the fact that most stranger stalkers do in fact maintain more than one victim at the same time. Interestingly, it's also this desire for control that means that most threats from an anonymous stalker are empty. If, for example, a stalker threatens to kill their victim, most of the time it is just an extreme way to cause fear and thus gain a greater sense of control over that person. If they were to actually carry through with the murder, they would of course no longer have someone to control, and so that avenue of pleasure would be permanently closed off to them. Obviously, this is not always the case, and there have been many tragic incidents where such threats do turn out to be more than just words. It should also be mentioned that statistically, when a domestic stalker threatens violence against their victim, they are significantly more likely to carry through with it than when a stranger stalker does. Because domestic stalkers are driven more by emotions and a desire for revenge than a need for control, so they are usually more willing to act out violence. According to statistics published in a 2009 paper, domestic stalkers will carry through with a threat of violence 1 out of every 2 times, whereas a stranger stalker who has no prior relationship with the victim will only carry through with a threat 1 out of every 10 times. These days, of course, there is a new breed of stalking that makes finding out what your victim had for breakfast disturbingly simple: social media. In a world where publicly flaunting which gym you attend each morning and Instagramming scenic pictures of the park you jog through during your daily commute, it's effortless for stalkers to ply their trade. Anyone can be the victim of online stalking and abuse, both men and women. In fact, a recent report by British think tank Demos suggests that men receive much more, with 2.5% of the tweets sent to men being classified as abusive, compared to 1% of tweets directed towards females. Some social media platforms offer tools for you to block certain people from viewing your profile, but these are often woefully inadequate.